Welcome to the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast, where we don't take from insurance companies. Here are your hosts, Mr. Jordan Comstock and Mr. Ben Tuine. This podcast is sponsored by BoomCloud Dental Membership Software, www.boomcloudapps.com, and Veritas Dental Resources, www.veritasdentalresources.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Say No to PPO podcast series. This is the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast. My name is Ben Tuine. Got my co-host, Jordan Comstock. What's up, Jordan?
Yo ho, brother. How's it going?
Pretty good.
It's been a long time since I've had you on the podcast. We've been doing solo podcasts. We still like each other.
Yeah, we do. We still. Jordan moved his office. I've had a number of personal family stuff going on this year, so this year has just been kind of a blur from that perspective.
Oh man, yeah.
There is so much content that we're going to be putting on for 2020. And we're going to, this month at least, we have a phenomenal guest with us that many of you have already, most of you probably have already heard of, if not all. But we have a huge lineup next year. For instance, just kind of a sneak peek of next year. Delta Dental in Arizona did that big fee cut. So the big question is what are your options? What do you do? We're working on something really big that potentially could lead to a solution for doctors in Arizona. As well as just general coding issues, just a rise of denials with dental insurance carriers on scaling and root planing, all the basic stuff that you see. But those things are actually increasing in 2020. And so we're going to have some guests, some key industry leaders to come and talk about that stuff. And so stay tuned for all that as we have new episodes pushing out in 2020. But I'm going to turn the time over to Jordan to introduce our guest today, who I've been looking forward to chatting with. So Jordan, floor is yours.
Thanks, dude. I do have one announcement too. We will be at Voices of Dentistry. I don't know if many of our listeners know about that. It's in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Go to voicesofdentistry.com, I believe, and you can learn about that conference. It's like all the podcasters are going to be there, and we all hang out and have a party, and there's speakers, and it's going to be cool. So I'll be there. Our team is sponsoring that event. So whoever's listening, I would encourage you to go so we can hang out. So
we'll be on the sober section, but don't let that be a deterrent to come and talk to us. No, we won't be slurring our speech. That's for sure.
No. So today I'm super excited to have a friend on the show. Her name is Grace Rizza. She is from Identity Dental Marketing. What is up, Grace?
Hi, Jordan.
I'm super excited to have you on today.
I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about some marketing tips that Grace has for everybody, because I believe that it's a super important part of the practice that needs to be talked about a lot. I know I work with lots of practices that definitely need help with marketing, because it is really important, because every practice has attrition. So it's important to keep those marketing funnels coming. So Grace, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? For those of our listeners that don't know you, tell a little bit about yourself and how you got into dental marketing.
Of course, I'm happy to. Thanks for having me. So I'm the owner and founder of Identity Dental Marketing. We've been in business for 10 years, which makes me feel really old, but I'm not that old.
Yeah.
And we are a full service custom dental marketing company, anything from brand development, logos, websites. We're heavy into digital marketing just because right now that's really where the best return on investment is in most markets. So, yeah.
That's super awesome. Did you start in the dental industry, like working in a practice? I guess
yes,
I don't even know this about you.
I did. I worked in a practice for a couple years prior to starting Identity. And I have so much respect for people who can work in a dental practice.
Yeah.
It's a unique challenge. But yeah, I started in there. I never did anything clinical because I like spit makes me vomit. So
yeah,
I'm always on the business side for sure.
Yeah,
So.
I started on the clinical side, and it was gross. So I was on the lab side, so I would get like these bloody impressions. Ugh.
So funny. Jordan and I went up to remember this meeting up in Weber State.
Yeah,
It
uh-huh.
was with an oral surgeon, and the oral surgeon was doing a presentation on all on fours, and he was showing a live
Oh,
video of cutting into the bones and
barf.
drilling in. Jordan's face was
Gross.
classic.
Yeah, that was
So
horrible. Yeah.
can I just like, so the way we're reacting right now, I mean, we're probably being really offensive to our audience, number one. So maybe we
Probably.
need to tone it down a little bit. But
Jordan,
also,
quit being offensive, Jordan.
yeah, Jordan. But
I'm such
also,
a
I want to
jerk.
say, you know, people need to learn how to say no to gross marketing too, because
Yeah.
there's so many people posting like their clinical cases on their Instagram page, and they've got, you know, header on their website. They've got the first thing you see when you go there is just like a person in a chair, like getting actual dental work done. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
market that way. That's not where the patient wants to be mentally.
Well, the patients probably react a lot like how we're reacting, right? When they see stuff like that.
Yeah.
You
Think
bring
about
Like
up
very immature and over the top. Yes.
Yeah. Very
sure.
immature. Like, did you see that? It was so gross.
let me bring some maturity to this conversation. I think I'm
Oh,
older
thank
than
you,
both.
Ben.
No,
Wise,
you
mature Ben.
bring up a really good point, Grace, because I'm sure we're all the same. We all like a bunch of dental practices, and every week I get tagged on, well, not tagged, but I view uh, um, surgery that's going on, like pictures and images of the
Yes.
surgery. And these are the images that the patient base sees
Yeah.
that's liking that page. And last week it was a facial laceration,
Wow.
and it was so deep. And you know, it's kind of like those things that sometimes when you see even movies or TV shows, you tend to cringe at some of those images. I kind of get used to it because I've seen it for years. But I imagine that the patients, it's off-putting. You know, when people say I'm fearful of the dentist, it like now that whole perception of fearing any dental work increases.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, it definitely is fear inducing. One of the things, so I want to propose a game for anyone listening. When you see gross dental posts, I want you to tag Jordan.
And then I'm going to tag Grace. Yeah.
So just for anyone out there that's listening, Jordan Comstock, tag him when you see gross posts on social media. But so to kind of segue, sorry to just jump in and take the reins, but
No, you're good.
Instagram's definitely changing how we market in dentistry, and it's becoming so much more common, and it's such an important platform to consider at this point, even more so than just 1 year ago. So, you know, if anyone's looking at their marketing program going, okay, what should I be adding or tweaking? If you haven't thought about Instagram, I think that's an important thing to consider.
So is Instagram pretty good for local marketing then? Because whenever I think of like Instagram, I think of like the big influencers on Instagram. So can you explain, like, if maybe a practice owner is thinking that way too, what are some of the benefits of local Instagram, or how do you approach that?
So you can advertise on Instagram just like you would on Facebook.
Okay.
And actually your Facebook ads can run on Instagram if you have it set up properly.
Uh-huh.
You know, another thing, people, if you're selling a cosmetic type solution for people want to see what you're like. And so it used to be that they'd go to your website, find you, read some reviews, and then they'd go to your Facebook page to see what you're really like, to see what your team is like, whatever. And just, I'm seeing more and more people get comfortable on Instagram. So they're kind of using it in that way.
Interesting.
Right.
Cool.
What's the difference between Facebook and Instagram? Because when I think of Instagram, I think photos.
Yes.
When I think of Facebook, I think just general videos, social media aspect, you know, connecting with people. From a marketing perspective, what are the differences between those two platforms?
Awesome question. So the layout is the biggest difference. When you're looking at Instagram, you've got to start thinking about how these images look together to create a unified brand. So you'll see a lot of people that have really thought out their brand have alternating layouts that look cute together. Whereas on Facebook, you don't really have to think about how they look together because you're only viewing one post independently of another post. So from an aesthetic standpoint, there's a little bit different
strategy
there.
Gotcha. Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
And I guess while we're on the topic, like with the messaging, like I just pulled up my Instagram, right? Just as we're talking, and I'm like scrolling through it. Like I follow like mostly comedy things and then like family and friends. Like when I'm on Instagram, what are some tips? Like as I'm scrolling through my Instagram here, what are tips to like, to like pull the viewer into the ad? Does that make sense? Do you like give away something for free, or is there anything like that in your toolbox?
So I'm starting to even do my own a little bit differently. If you follow mine, you'll see kind of what I'm doing.
I think I follow you.
Maybe. I don't know. Am I a friend? Do I fit in
you don't.
like, where do I definitely don't fit in comedian. I know that. I think it depends on what you want your brand to be. So for instance, like if Nike has a brand of motivation, they're going to show pictures of athletes in action and things that evoke that emotion. Whereas if you're highly cosmetic, let's say you're a cosmetic dental practice, you're going to want really visually aesthetic posts because that's how people are relating to you.
Sure. Yeah.
And then if you're trying to be a comedian, or you are a comedian, obviously you're going to need to have some video content and have some punchy, funny stuff going on. So whatever it is, I always recommend starting with who are we? What's our brand? How do we want people to feel when they encounter our brand? And then just staying consistent with that.
Okay. Perfect.
If that makes sense.
There's always these trends with social media, and I kind of feel like, there's certain perhaps windows of opportunity to maintain or at least gain a competitive advantage. Like Facebook Live when it first came out, and YouTube videos, YouTube marketing, things like that. Is when it comes to the older train of thought of direct marketing, direct mail, all these traditional methods of reaching out to the community that are non-social media related. For a person in that mindset, Grace, what is your advice to people like that in terms of getting into these unique opportunities of marketing, like Instagram as an example? How do you get people to get interested to the relevance of Instagram marketing or Facebook marketing?
Absolutely. So I think a lot of the holdup is that it's less tangible. When someone buys a mailer, they're buying something physical that they can look at and feel, and they know exactly who it's going to. And so it feels very tangible. When you're moving from that mindset to digital, you just have to realize that it is tangible. You have to learn how to make it tangible by looking at the stats and having those conversations. So the first recommendation that I would give is make it tangible for yourself in some way, even if that's just looking at traffic to your website based on ads or hits or clicks or whatever it is. Make it tangible, because what you're paying for is exposure. Yeah. And it's just different. And if you haven't embraced digital marketing yet, what I'm about to tell you will help you embrace that. So typically traditional marketing forms like direct mail, radio, whatever it may be, you're going to invest about $400 to $500 to bring in a new patient and up. Right. With digital, that number can be $200 and down. So the longer you invest, especially when you have retargeting implemented, the better these things work, because people have seen that message over and over again.
So patient acquisition cost, if you want
patient acquisition cost is like way lower. Mm-hmm. So it is right now anyways.
Yeah.
So
very interesting. Here's a question I have for you. So what are some of the changes in the social media marketing world that we need to know if we're going to be doing this strategy in 2020?
So there's a lot of opportunity. What I see right now is people running, maybe just starting to dabble with ads. There's a lot of do-it-yourself stuff going on, and it's a lot of times wrong. I see ad spends going really quickly because they're targeting. They didn't know they were targeting everyone in the country.
Yeah, because I know you have to you can exclude certain segments. I mean, we do a lot of LinkedIn ads. I'm sure it's similar to what Facebook is, and you can exclude some just demographics, right? And I think and the same thing with Google search too. If you typed in the word dental or something and said, I want to put an ad on dental, it's going to go on dental supplies, and it's going to go on if you don't target everything.
Yeah. So we call those negative keywords where we block things out. That definitely helps you narrow it down. There's a lot of settings people miss when you're looking at Facebook ads and things like that. People don't always know the rules, and they're constantly changing. So they just changed this week where we can't say you or your in ads. So we're going through and updating series of ads for these one word, these tiny little changes that happen, and all of a sudden people don't realize their ads are shut off. And so
what's the point of that? The you and your?
I don't even know.
It's just dumb.
I mean, well, there's a lot of things. So you could say like, is your smile where you want it? And they could be like, that's shameful. And they pull the ad. Or
I see.
You have too much text on the ad, they'll pull the ad.
And I'd say, you know what's shameful? Your rules. And that's what's shameful.
Hey, you better be careful though, who we talk about here. They can hear us right now.
They can hear everything.
Turning my watch off right now. So I think just having a professional that can help you keep up with the rules of the game so that your ads stay live and that they stay functioning, and knowing when you've hit ad fatigue. Really just having someone look at the numbers for you so that you can stay on top of these things, because it's a lot to manage a business. And then this whole department that, let's face it, you probably don't know a lot about it.
Well, marketing is huge just in general. Like it's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely.
Last week I saw this advertisement on Facebook, how to become a fee-for-service dental practice. And I saw there are a few comments. I clicked on the comments and they were all about, hey, I'm a plumber. How did I get targeted to see this advertisement? I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
They kept going down saying, me too. This is not even relevant to me. Why is it on my Facebook feed?
It's because they're targeting everybody.
Someone missed a button somewhere.
Somebody. That's funny.
I didn't even realize that.
I'm a plumber.
I get advertisements from doctors that I know I'm in Utah, but they're out in Virginia. And so I don't know if they're paying for me to see that, but
they're probably your clients or whatever, and you're on their list or something. And
gotcha.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the difference with,
I get those too.
like trying to do it on your own versus hiring a professional, which leads me to my next question for you, Grace. So theme of our insurance, of course, is insurance is a big thing. Membership plans is a big thing. And I'm the insurance guy representing the podcast. And I get questions a lot of times from startup doctors that do startup practices. They hire us to help them determine if joining PPOs is something that might be helpful, or if there are other avenues for them to be successful in terms of growth, initial growth. And this morning I got a question from a potential client that said, so if I sign up with a bunch of PPOs, and he shared a full list with me, and it was somewhere in the range of 30 dental plans. His question was, how many patients should I expect per month? What would be your answer, Grace? And then I'll give mine.
Well, I'll just tell you what the answer is that I hear all the time, because I host about 3 to 5 marketing planning sessions a day with dentists. And a lot of times this is like the beginning of their conversation is, well, I caved and I signed up with a bunch of plans, and that's exactly what they say. And they're like, I didn't see any increase in new patients, so here I am. And it's like, I'm like their default solution after they and it's hard to hear on a daily basis. It's like upsetting, because I'm like, who's out there setting this expectation that once you're on a list of you and 1,000 other doctors that you're going to see this spike?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree. And that's my advice to anybody, any doctor that's out there, that when you sign up to become a listed member, participating member of insurance, there are zero guarantees that being on that list is going to produce any patients. In fact, in my own tracking, I've tracked that less than 5% of patients that are active and use dental insurance find a dental practice through their online directory, the Aetna directory or the Delta directory. It's a really, really low percentage, which begs the question, and I guess this is relevant to a lot of doctors out there that are considering joining PPO plans. Is joining PPO plans a marketing technique, or is it a marketing ploy, or is it going to help new patients? And my answer to that is no, absolutely not. You have to supplement, if you are going to join PPOs, to make the best of it. you just have to supplement it with having an aggressive or some type of marketing program in your practice that is completely separate from just joining a PPO plan. That's been my experience.
It may make a difference when you have, your team answering the phone and people are calling and saying, well, do you accept it? At that point, it may make a difference in your numbers over time.
Correct.
To some extent. But I don't necessarily see people signing up and then them being like, oh, where do I pull out all these patients?
Yeah.
Not what we see.
Yeah, that's exactly what we see too, is people are disappointed when they sign up with PPOs and they have absolutely no marketing strategy, and they're just sitting waiting for the phones to ring.
It can actually be really devastating because they're sitting there and then they have to take this huge cut on what they're getting reimbursed a lot of times. And sometimes they didn't negotiate and they didn't do it thoughtfully. Mm-hmm. And now now they got to work twice as hard and they don't even have the patients. And it can be devastating.
Right.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah. But you can look at what you have, look at your situation and create a marketing plan around it. And if you have certain plans that reimburse you in a way that you're happy with that, you can definitely plan your marketing around what you have, without a doubt.
Yeah. Sweet. That's my recommendation. If you do PPOs and 9 times out of 10 startup practices, it's a little bit easier for patients to pick them if they're participating with a dental plan, but you should always have a marketing professional that you're working with on a strategy to actually proactively reach out there and get those patients. Just don't wait and sit and think they're going to call because they don't.
No.
Nope. So, all right, here's my next question for you, Grace. So I think this is what triggered our conversation in bringing you on the show the other day, because I mean, here at BoomCloud, we work with practices that are creating membership programs who they want to grow them, right? Because number one, they want to reduce dependence on PPOs and have their own, system in place. How can a practice market their membership program to existing uninsured patients, and as well as attract new uninsured patients to join their program?
So I think the first step in this is realizing that they can and they should market. I think so many people still hear the word marketing and it's like worse than the F word to them. It's like nails on a chalkboard. They're like, I do no marketing. I don't believe in it. It's not a religion. It's
the F word's that bad?
It's my favorite word. I mean, this is how people are treating marketing, and I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah,
this is how people treat marketing. Like it's this horrible thing, and I think it's because there's been so much bad marketing in dentistry, and there's been so much just preying on dentists who don't understand how to market, that people have like just a bad feeling about it. Learning enough to where you can make smart marketing decisions is really step one. Step two is embracing it, the fact that it's there, and then coming up with a plan. So if you are offering a membership program to your patients, thinking about, okay, how many patients do we want on this plan and what are the benefits of it? So even when you're setting it up, you should be thinking about your end goal for the plan.
Sure.
So I've had people say, I want to do a membership plan, but I don't really want to get my existing patients on it.
I've had that. That's a common objection here as well when we help practices. Big one.
If you're not comfortable with what you're offering, you've got to look at the benefit of it, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. How much loyalty is this going to bring? What kind of difference is this going to have in the practice in the long term?
Sure.
And then how are you going to leverage it to bring in new patients? So just like we market any other benefit in a practice, I would market a membership program the same way. So you create video ads are very powerful right now. So talk about your purpose. Why did you create this program for your patients? Always focus it in words relating to benefit for the patient.
Sure.
So get to the meaning of what it is that you're trying to say. And a lot of times we want to make this, affordable, highest quality care, things that dentists care about, but at the same time, they don't want to necessarily be completely controlled by, and I don't even like saying insurance, but dental benefits organizations.
Yeah.
So come up with a plan and set a number. Like, we'd like to have X amount of people on our plan. Your existing patients, when they're on this, they're going to be so much more loyal to you.
Mm.
And their competition, it's there. It's only getting higher and higher. So anything that you have to get them committed to you and a part of your dental family is going to be a huge advantage. And then with the external marketing, you market it just like anything else. You have strong messaging, strong images, meaning behind it. And then you purchase space. Here's the other thing. People don't want to spend money on marketing. I see a lot of, like, in the Facebook forums and things like, how do I market with no money? And it's like, okay, well then how much time do you have to put into this? Something's got to give. So don't be afraid to set a budget, let it run for a while and evaluate what it's done and how it's affected.
What do you recommend? Like, for a while, is that like a week, 2 weeks, a month?
6 months.
6 months, just run it and look at the numbers and say, okay.
You've got to run a campaign long enough for people to see it, remember it, remember you, and then get a pain or have a bad experience with their dentist and then change. And so when you run it for a month, you might hit a couple people that are ready and you hit them just with the right message, and that might work. But unless you have, if you've got a huge ad spend, you might see immediate return on investment. But typically you want it to run for about 6 months before you start, reallocating and pulling and panicking.
Just to get the data, you want to make data-based decisions, right? So, by running it for 6 months, you're able to see the data and you can make small tweaks and changes to optimize the ad. Goodness, are you okay?
Yep. I wasn't drinking water or anything.
It's like a bottle of whiskey. It's whiskey in a water bottle. So Grace, quick question on.
I could have used some whiskey at work today, actually.
I've had those days.
So you mentioned something, Grace, about bad marketing. I know, our purpose is not to ever poke holes at people, individuals, organizations.
Never.
But do you have any examples of marketing that dentists should shy away from?
I've got some red flags that I can make people aware of so that they can make smart decisions. The first is the biggest thing that's bothered me, especially in the last year or so, has been a lack of transparency on ad spend and ad budget. So when a marketing company says you should be investing $3,500 a month on this ad campaign and this ad campaign, and then they don't necessarily say, well, how much of that $3,500 is going to purchase your space on Facebook or Google? They don't give those numbers, and then the doctor has no way of confirming that the amount that they determined is actually so. Essentially, the marketing company could pocket your entire ad spend.
Sure, yeah.
They could do that every third month, and most dentists wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it happens a lot.
I was going to say, I'm sure that happens.
It happens a lot. I know, of organizations that do this, and sometimes they start with a free trial at the beginning. They literally will dump $10,000 into your ad campaign, and you'll see all these leads and hits, and you'll get all excited. So you sign an annual contract, and then before you know it, the phones are just dead. And you're like, what's going on? They're like, oh, we're going to make some tweaks. And they kind of coach you along until the end of the contract. Mm-hmm. So that transparency has to be there. That's number one.
Yeah, I agree. That would suck if somebody's taking my ad spend.
Well, and Jordan, you're very marketing savvy.
I like marketing.
So, but could you imagine being in that dental setting where you're going from patient to patient to patient? You don't have time to necessarily unravel every ad campaign and where every dental is going. So, it happens more than I'd like to see.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. I guess I looked at having a guy do Facebook ads for us, and it seemed really sketchy because I'm like, did I say Facebook or LinkedIn? I can't
You
remember.
said Facebook.
I meant LinkedIn.
Okay.
So we just had one of our team members here do it, and we have access to whatever ad spend we want, right? And obviously what I pay my employee to do it. But I guess I never really thought that could happen in dentistry, because most likely, the practice owner is probably with patients all day and doesn't have time to look at dumb marketing reports, right?
It's mostly happening on Google with Google ads.
Oh, okay. Interesting. What are some examples? I mean, I guess it depends really on the product or service that the practice is wanting to focus on. But is a call to action like call the office, or are they trying to collect emails? What's the goal with some of these practices?
All different kinds of campaigns and things that happen.
What's the most common one that drives results rather quickly?
So I'm really big on retargeting.
Okay.
So a lot of people preach on that data collection, and dentists love data. So they eat that up.
Sure. Yeah.
But anytime so a couple things. Anytime you're taking patient information, you're building a campaign around it, you're likely in breach of HIPAA. Mm-hmm. So be very careful taking patient information and uploading it to say Facebook and creating a lookalike audience and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Even if you learned it at a dental seminar or something like that, you shouldn't be sharing your patient's data with Facebook.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
That makes sense. I didn't even think about that.
With you don't need a lot in budget to really blanket your community and for everyone to know who you are. Mm-hmm. If you target properly, if you set the ad up properly, if you let it run, and then if you use retargeting, you can get a lot of repeat exposure for a very low cost.
So for those that don't know what retargeting is, can you kind of explain that?
Sure. So that's anytime anyone clicks through on a page that you've got the retargeting set up on. So it could be a web page, it could be a landing page, but they click through on an ad or anything. It could be to download a free PDF or something like that. But anytime they click through, they're now going to see your future ads. And this can be you can retarget on most platforms. We do a lot of retargeting on Facebook and Google.
So if they come to my website and they download my ebook, I have an ebook that I give practices, which I do have a Facebook pixel on that. They download the ebook, and then they're able to see my next ad. Maybe it's an invite to a webinar in my case, or whatever it is that I'm doing. That's what it is. So if they come to my website, then it's collecting all that data, and then remarketing or retargeting to those.
And what people need to realize is, and one of my clients actually told me this. She goes, marketing is like antidepressants. That you don't know that you need it and rely on it until it's gone. And I'm like, I'm so
That's good. That's good. I like that.
I'm so taking that. Because when you're doing it and business is good, you're going, well, I don't know if the marketing's really doing this or if it's just that I got really great since I started marketing. So I'm going to pull it back and see what happens. And then they see the gradual dip, and it's not overnight, it's gradual.
Sure.
They're like, yeah, well, when we were marketing, we were going up, and then when we stopped, we were going down. But I didn't see the direct correlation. And people are not realizing that marketing, a lot of it takes place on the subconscious level. It has to do with repeat exposure. And when you think of a brand, think of actually, a brand is like an impression of who you are. People have to get to know you and feel like they know you before they're going to choose you as their dentist or whatever it is that you do.
Yeah. No, I think that's awesome. I like retargeting as well. I think it's pretty sweet.
So Grace.
Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Somebody brought a bunch of barbecue in, so I'm smelling that, and I'm you can smell it, Grace? Yeah, I'm going over here.
By the look on your face.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So Grace, you've been very gracious with your time. Thanks for spending time with us today. I just have one more question.
Sure.
In dentistry, do people really buy the relationship, or do they look at it as commodity where they're buying a procedure?
Both.
What is your both? Okay.
Both, and you have to think about what kind of patient do you want for your practice. Mm-hmm. Is it the more the merrier? Are you at a point where you're being selective? and your marketing is going to guide what kind of patients you attract.
Awesome. Great answer, by the way.
Thanks.
That was actually a genuine question. Because I don't know. I hear all the time that people are saying that dentistry is becoming more of a commodity. The relationship game is really less important for a lot of dental practices. But me personally, for my dentist, it's a personal relate. Well, I guess because he's my uncle. But and the fact that he's like 85 years old and still,
practicing,
he's still very active. I always believe that it's definitely relationship, but I could see how it's both,
It can definitely be both. And I think there's nothing more frustrating than running and growing a business and not having your ideal patient in your practice. It can be a very frustrating thing. So if you have ads out that are like free this, free that, but you're really trying to connect with someone who's appreciating, high quality care, you need marketing that matches who you are.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Cool. Well, Grace, do you have any final thoughts for the show? I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. No, I would just invite listeners, if you'd like to follow me, I've got a Facebook group. It's originally called Dental Marketing with Grace. So feel free to join me.
What if somebody wants to contact you and get your company to help with marketing, what's the best way to go about that as well?
Thank you. They can email me, grace@identitydental.com.
Cool. So email is the best. So yeah, reach out to Grace. She can help you guys grow and market your practice in your local community. She's awesome. One of my favorite people in dentistry. So Ben, any other final thoughts?
No, thanks, Grace. All I have to say is, we know, and we talk to a lot of people that are real in tune with marketing in dentistry. But I just have to say, this is my first conversation with Grace that I'm just impressed. She really knows what she's talking about. Like, the answers just roll off of her tongue. And this was not a scripted. I mean, we just kind of came up with these questions randomly. So, in terms of the credentials and the trust, I personally would put my faith behind what Grace is talking about, because it really does genuinely seem like she really knows her stuff. So I'll just end with that.
Awesome. Thanks, dog. I'm going to eat this barbecue. So, Grace, thanks again for coming on the show. And for those of you listening, if you're driving, drive safe, and happy holidays out there.
Happy holidays. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Grace. Rock and roll, everybody.